let's go to what SERAP is asking from Donald Trump as we wrap up here. So the Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project, SERAP, has written to the president-elect of the United States. Yes, I can still call him that until his inauguration, which will be 6 p.m. today. It's written to Donald Trump, seeking list of Nigerian officials hiding loot in the U.S. This is where we should say, or I should say, calm down. The man has not even entered office or assumed office. They're writing to him already. Is SERAP in a hurry?
Well, I think SERAP know what to do. And I think that can be done legitimately within the Freedom of Information Act, which is, of course, in our country. There's no money that moves out of this country that CBN should not be able to account for. And if monies are moving out, we don't need a foreign government to come and tell us whether we have money in their country or we don't have money of their country, who is having those money in their country or not having money in their country. And I think for me, sometimes SERAP can also be attention seeking, which is one big issue that is so much in our space, where people like writing open letters. We understand what is happening within our space. What is critical? Donald Trump is not the president of the whole world, and he's not the president of Nigeria. We have a president in Nigeria, and where there are suspicions, people can actually go to the appropriate authority and then ask for the requisite information that is needed. Put your letters in the CBN and let us know all those people, money that has moved out in Nigeria, whether it was moved for businesses that are not done. We must also do our homework.
Or was it move hard cash? Then if it was moved hard cash, then we need to ask the airport authorities because they fetch whatever you're moving out.
Are they having some people in mind that they want to see, okay, maybe this person would think that this person have money somewhere else? All of those things can be done because there's no way we can transfer money from our economy without CBN and the rest of them having to have an idea about what is happening. But I think we are overexposing ourselves. When things that we can deal with at home, we go to the outside to watch our dirty linen. For me, really, I don't think that's it will produce any result, and I'm most thinking that Donald Trump also owed them any responsibility to do that, except that they have to sue the United States government. But then, if you are going to law, then you must your hand must be clean.
This thing that some African countries, including Nigeria, seem to have, that when when there's a new president in the U.S., it's either we're calling attention to something that is happening internally. When there are issues within the country, they're calling attention to it. Take your mind back to during the NSAS protest, when Nigerians were sending messages to the UN to intervene and all that, without us thinking about what can be done internally to attend to some of these issues. Is it part of the colonial mentality that you're thinking that whatever challenge you're having, it is those who are outside of the country that can attend to it? And what do you think about SERAP's letter at this point in time? Do you think they should have allowed Donald Trump sit on the chair first and, take the breath before they're asking him to do certain things?
No. We all know that SERAP has been on top of its game. I really wish they were, really achieving results. They've been on top of their game. Why did I make that statement? During the Buhari's administration, when the former president was borrowing money, times without number, from the United States, from IMF, from World Bank, from China, SERAP was writing. It sued the Buhari administration, including the National Assembly, to make sure that they account for the monies that was borrowed, if it was spent for the purpose for which it was borrowed. SERAP did that. SERAP took not just the government to court, SERAP was taking a lot of other public officers, public officials, including institutions, to court. Of course, we know that SERAP is suing the government of the day. It didn't make any headway, it didn't win the case, and that is not unconnected to the fact that this is the government of the day. If SERAP is writing to the elected president or the president-elect of the United States of America that, look, Mr. President, we know that you can do this, that, and the other from your antecedent, and we believe you could influence something to return Nigeria's loot. Some of Nigerian politicians must have looted funds and taken to the United States of America. Desiani Allison's name was mentioned there, that Mr. President, we need you to influence the return of this proceeds so it can be used for what? It can be used for the purpose for which it was, done in the first place. Why is SERAP not winning the battle? If we say we should look inwardly, SERAP is going to take the government, the president, to court in Nigeria. Are they going to win the case? They've done that times without number, and they didn't win the case. For example, the whistleblower policy that came out, and it's nice as if it's dead. It's because some government officials were implicated in the process. And what happened? People went for it. Those who went secretly to blow the whistle about some government officials. No, just a moment.
No, wait.
To blow the whistle in the process. Their lives became endangered species.
No. If you are writing a letter to somebody and telling the person, you are saying, "Oh, President-elect, go and look around all the banks in America and tell us how many Nigerians have account in your." I think
no, that's not what SERAP was saying.
SERAP was saying
that limited funds of corrupt Nigerians and politicians.
You're transferring the burden to the US.
No. I think we are becoming mechanical about this. How do you mean we are transferring the burden? The United States of America has a system that's working, so that in the extent that even if citizens in the United States of America commit crime, fraudulent crime, they are able to detect it, and they are equally able to detect monies that come in through fraudulent means into the United States of America from Nigerians, and they have all the account details of Nigerian politicians, and they know
we also
the
have
company.
A system
We
that
have a system we have a system.
Shouldn't that letter
No, I'm not overrating the American system. The American system. No. Just let me land. So I will listen. The American system is not overrated. The same monies, the Abacha loot, was it figured out by the Nigerians? It was assisted by Interpol with the connection of the
So there's a role that Nigeria
They are able to bring that out. They were able to bring that out. James Ibori loot, the United Kingdom was able to bring this out.
Let's even talk about the American own problem.
The American problem is not what we are looking at now. We are looking at Nigeria's problem. When Nigerians loot money taken to the United States of America, because they are able to do that.
When you say Americans have a system to see everything, that's making them look like omnipotent, and that does not exist anywhere. What I'm saying to you is a simple thing. What we need to do, and that's what SERAP should always be about. If SERAP is really interested, SERAP should do their due diligence first at home, and ensure that we have a list of saying, okay, these are politically exposed people. This is
SERAP is not charged with the responsibility of investigating corrupt.
Who not charged them with the responsibility of writing to foreign nations?
SERAP as a civil organization has the right to write the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. It is the Financial Crimes Commission that has the right to investigate that. Who appoints the head? Who appoints the head of the EFCC? Are they not going to? Is the EFCC now going to work against corrupt politicians that are in the saddle?
On behalf of Nigeria.
SERAP they have an international face.
Another day. We'll continue this conversation another day.
International face, if you don't have a right to determine what happened locally,
and
then you can represent your government abroad, then there's something that is wrong. And these are the issues that we have to state in right.
Donald Trump, I'm sure, will receive that letter and will respond to it. So his inauguration will take place 6 p.m. today. That's West African time, and 12 p.m. Eastern. That's for their own time. So we would now know if he responds to that, what's he going to say. I can imagine Donald Trump responding to that, perhaps asking that SERAP look inward first. There's an example I gave here one time. We're talking about asking that foreign nations help us trace loot. Now, if something is missing from your house and you suspect that one of your children has taken it out, it would be wrong for you to go to your neighbor and say, check your house. If what my property is in your house.
I don't think we should give it that interpretation.
You should first of all check your house and know why it was possible for one of your children to take it out before asking asking that you
And therefore, they
check
don't
their
have
house.
obligation to
But
write
They
to
do have
elections.
obligations.
on this note,
They
we're
do
going
have
to
obligations.
call it. We're going to end the conversation here on news analysis. It always gets very hot at some point here. That's why it's the front burners. Some persons reacted to this online. Some of the issues we've talked about, and when we talked about the Davos conference ongoing in Switzerland, someone said, Israel Adeyemi, who says, what has been the impact of World Economic Forum on the common man? He asked the question. Another viewer sent a message, says, I keep seeing news of delegates from Nigeria attending the World Economic Forum, but I still don't know the impact on an average Nigerian. Please enlighten me. Okay, we were talking about how Africa can position themselves better on the negotiating table and negotiate from a standpoint of advantage if we're talking about collaboration. So one other person says, the broom bunch is way stronger than the broomstick. Africa needs to speak with one voice. I guess it's referring to Africa's position at the Davos conference. And on the microfinance issue, Governor, this person goes by the name Governor, he says, microfinance banks are closer to the greater population and smaller businesses. In my thoughts, they need more capitalization and government interventions and fund injections. I agree with you. That's all on news analysis. Let's take a break and return for policy discuss to stay.